You know, I think I'll tell you the story of my life.
Tell me. I want to hear too.
I was born in Animus, North Dakota, a long time ago, see? And now I'm lucky enough to be here with you.
Yeah, but what happened in between? Yeah, what else happened?
Well, it went pretty much like this.
If you want a Christmas day, I can give you a cup of cocoa. Even if it was cold, babe, don't worry, I'll be there for you. Every night I see you falling down there, baby, you might feel like curtain hiding down there. And so much worries you were holding inside of you. The scars and tears will dry. You'll be fine, don't worry, babe. I'll light up the candles for you. I will sing the Christmas lights for you.
Proved in many cases to be ill-trained, enthusiastic students. With strict censorship in operation, no casualty figures were published. The government claimed only 100 rebels were killed, but some newspaper reports estimated the real figure at 1,500. Western journalists also accused the security forces of needless brutality, particularly
내 생각을 지켜봐라.
Ceylon is a small island lying
눈을 감고 잘 들어봐. 약속해.
offers the same attractions to arms smuggling. Throughout the emergency,
널
Ceylon
위한 선물 하나 준비했어.
smuggled arms.
비록 남들처럼 든 상관 아니지. 난 서툴지만 빼곡한 편지와 slogan. 내 크리스마스를 기억해줘. You'll be fine, don't worry, babe.
The government was taking
I'll
no
light
chance
up the candles for you.
though most of the fighting looks to be over, and the
I will sing the Christmas lights for you.
But the cleanup operations could take a substantial period of time because it's a slow process to pick up the stragglers and to deal with them according to law. We were aware of an insurgent danger through this country. We had been aware of it for some time, but it is perfectly true we were not prepared in a military sense to deal with it, having regard to the ramifications of it and the degree of preparedness that they had engaged in, and we were definitely caught off guard in a military sense.
It all is now quiet, but no one is taking this as a sign the rebellion's been crushed. Government troops may control the cities, but there's not enough of them to control the countryside as well. In any case, the answer to Ceylon's crisis doesn't lie with the military, but with the politicians here in Ceylon's parliament. Responsibility for putting Ceylon back on its feet lies with this woman, Mrs. Sirimavo Bandaranaike, the Prime Minister and leader of a left-wing coalition government which includes a number of communists. Previous governments, including her own, had tried and failed to find the solutions to Ceylon's chronic economic problems. Last year, Mrs. Bandaranaike again swept to power after promising an ambitious program of socialist reforms. But time was running out, and within 9 months the euphoria of electoral success had been replaced by disillusionment and active discontent. At the state opening of Parliament, Mrs. Bandaranaike's election manifesto was read out as her intended government programme. She promised jobs for all, a lower cost of living, cheap housing for the poor, rapid industrialisation and expanded health services. Almost immediately afterwards, the finance minister announced the country was bankrupt. Disillusionment with yet another government may have provided the spark that set off the guerrilla rebellion, but the real causes of the revolt are far deeper. They're to be found in the marketplace. Ceylon's economic problems are immense. It's a rich agricultural country, yet it has to import its own food. Its major exports fetch low prices on world markets, and this in turn means Ceylon has less foreign exchange to spend on industrialization. It's a vicious circle that hasn't been helped by the revolt. Economic troubles brought on the rebellion, and now the rebellion is making the economic situation worse. International involvement in the crisis has come in another area. The government alleged the North Korean embassy in Colombo was providing the guerrillas with propaganda material during the insurrection. Mrs. Bandaranayake responded by breaking off diplomatic relations and expelling the embassy staff. Despite this incident, most observers still saw the revolt as a spontaneous popular movement. Even the government disclaimed direct foreign involvement. Mr. Bandaranayake again.
I think our findings are at the moment that really there has been no direct foreign involvement of any sort. One embassy, as Mrs. Bandaranayake stated in her broadcast message to the nation, had behaved somewhat foolishly and indiscreetly in its own propaganda efforts and thereby indirectly helped the terrorist insurgents. She had occasion to warn that particular embassy, and when the warning was not heeded, she had occasion to ask the embassy personnel to leave the country.
Ceylon University, cordoned off with barbed wire and occupied by troops, is the key to the rebellion. The reasons not difficult to find. The guerrilla movement is largely organized and led by unemployed graduates, of whom Ceylon has 14,000, all products of a free and compulsory education system that's wildly out of step with the nation's economy. The rank and file of the movement is provided by school and university students, teachers and Buddhist monks. 60,000 are thought to be involved. Although the government seemed to be taken by surprise by the scale of the revolt, the first signs of the crisis showed themselves last year when the Ceylon Special Branch produced a report on a revolutionary political youth group known as the People's Liberation Front, dedicated to overthrowing the government. And as recently as last September, the authorities marched 63 of these young people into court to face various charges of subversion. The declared aim of the April the 5th insurgents was to topple Mrs. Bandaranayake's government and replace it with an even more left-wing administration. They failed, but the fact that the attempt was made at all has shown the government just how urgently reforms are needed. We asked Mr. Bandaranayake if the uprising had forced the government to review its policies.
I don't think so, because I think our program is a fairly radical one as it stands. But much remains to be done, and maybe the administrative process could be speeded up somewhat. And I think it will have to be speeded up if we are to make any effective impact upon the problems of our country and of our time. But it would be incorrect to say that the Che Guevarists, as they call themselves, or as they are called sometimes by others, have led to any changes in the basic thinking of the center-left policies of Mrs. Bandaranayake's government. My estimate would be, very broadly speaking, that it would be that we've got approximately 100 million rupees or more to find in the immediate future in foreign exchange to get over the immediate effects of the crisis.
Ceylon's dire economic straits and constant need for aid has meant close scrutiny from the World Bank and other financial institutions. But even they are having difficulty working out Ceylon's true financial position because of wildly fluctuating exchange rates. A dollar presented in the street, for example, can fetch twice as many rupees as it would in a bank or in a shop. The result has been a marked reluctance on the part of the international bankers to lend Ceylon any more money. The government, in turn, has had to stop non-essential imports, and this, in turn, has made some consumer goods extremely